first millionaire I am in this world.
Yes.
There's a difference between being in business and being a busybody. Business.
Yes.
Are you in business or you're just a busybody? You've got to, whatever you do, must be strategic enough to give a return.
Jesus said we always have the poor amongst you.
Yeah.
But now, as somebody was challenging me,
Yes.
that poor person doesn't have to be you.
Sure.
All right, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. That is on the Overflow show where you live your life in abundance. And of course, I'm just happy that you're joining us from wherever you are on Hope TV, where you look and live, and of course on Hope FM, where you listen and live. Karibu sana. They call me Favored Frank, and we are set for a great time tonight on the Overflow show. If you got any question, any feedback, any suggestion, any comment, feel free to share with us. The numbers scrolling down at the screen. And of course, we'll be so happy to engage with you. And I want to believe if you're joining us for the first time tonight, you can visit our YouTube channel and you'll be sure to catch our previous episodes on the Overflow show. We began off a conversation last week that is to do with wealth creation, all right? It began off with Jackton, Kem, we're just now continuing on the same conversation. And tonight, Dr.
Yes, Vivad.
How are you?
I'm well.
You're well?
Yes, by God's grace.
How's been the week?
The week has been fine.
Uh-huh.
I had a chance to visit with my relatives
Okay.
back in the country.
That's for Pasaka.
Not really.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, last weekend was not Pasaka. You were
Yes.
not wrong. Oh, it's the other weekend. I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had just a get-together
All right.
back at home.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And I want to believe your weekend is faring on well.
Yeah, we just began the week. It's going on well.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, great. Maybe for somebody who's tuning in for the first time tonight, maybe just a little bit of an introduction, then we get going.
Yeah, my name is Dr. James Carroll. I'm the facilitator of the Overflow show. And besides that, I do a number of things.
Okay.
I'm a trainer. I'm a lecturer. I do some kind of a consultancy. I'm doing some kind of other things here and there. I'm an author. Besides many other things, yeah.
Oh, great. And we would really want you to partner with us to bring this program on air every other Saturday. Please partner with us by, being our Fikim So. You can do this easily. Go to your M-Pesa menu, leap on M-Pesa paybill option. The paybill number is 933-933. The account name is The Overflow, all right? Just have that and then we'll be good to go. The amount can be 100 bob, can be 200, 1,000, 10,000, 1 million. Who knows? Come on. Now, Dr.
Yes, favored.
Tonight, we have a great conversation
Sure.
that we
look
began
forward
off
to it.
the other time.
Yes.
So if you can just do maybe a recap of the previous conversation so that we dive straight into what we have today.
There are people who wonder, why are people poor and
Yes.
why are people rich? Why are some people poor and why are some people rich?
Yes.
That question continues to marvel many people. And what is more surprising is that in the midst of the poor,
Yes.
you still find some rich people.
Okay.
And even in the midst of rich people, you find some poor people.
Yes.
And the $1 million question is, why such a difference? The environment is the same.
Yes.
But in terms of income, there's a huge inequality sometimes, income disparities. And at one time, Christ said, the poor you always have with you.
Yes.
Why? And it's good to understand the phenomenon of riches and poverty so that you make a choice, because life by and large is a matter of choice.
Yes.
And I would say that life is governed by principles. Life is governed by laws.
Yes.
And unless you are bound by the laws that would favor you to be wealthy, to be rich,
Yes.
then you are likely to be poor.
Okay.
Because life is essentially governed by laws. Just as we said last time in our previous episode, that wealth creation is governed by laws, by principles,
Yes.
by rules. And therefore, in order to create wealth, you must abide by those laws.
All right.
And we talked about 7 laws. That there is a law of spiritual creation. That life essentially, wealth creation essentially, is birthed in the womb of the spirit. Secondly, the law of mental creation. That poverty or riches is a state of mind. That's where it begins. And thirdly, the law of purpose, that wealth is created by a definite purpose. For we are born for a purpose, by purpose, and for a purpose. That if you don't have a definite purpose directed by goals to create wealth, then you're likely not to be rich. And fourthly, the law of attraction, that we attract who we are.
Yes.
Our thoughts, our words attract their nature, their kind. So similar we attract who we are.
Okay.
And fourthly or fifthly, the law of giving. The law of giving and receiving.
Yes.
That we reap what we sow.
Okay.
You give generously, you plant generously, and you reap generously. It's just as simple as that. And then the law of strategic action, that you've got to be smart. It's not just about activity, but productivity. Don't just be a busybody. There's a difference between being in business and being a busybody. Business.
Yes.
Are you in business or you're just a busybody? You've got to, whatever you do, must be strategic enough to give a return.
Okay.
Otherwise, you just become a rolling moss.
Yes.
A rolling stone that gathers no moss. The law of partnership.
Okay.
That a cord of 3 strands
Yes.
is not quickly broken.
We are not lone rangers.
We are not lone rangers. That if you want to create wealth, create with people.
Okay.
Partner with people, starting with God first, and other people. The law of partnership.
Yes.
That if you want to go far in wealth creation, go along with people.
Yes.
If you want to move fast and head nowhere, or
Yes.
don't go far, just go around.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody say that the book we just mentioned earlier on in the book of Matthew, that Jesus said we'll always have the poor amongst you.
Yeah.
But now somebody was challenging me
Yes.
that poor person doesn't have to be you.
Sure. Yeah.
It is a choice.
Life is a matter of choice to a large extent.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why there's this person who says in the Bible, choose this day whom you're going to worship.
Yeah.
Life is a sum total of the choices made in our lives, either by ourselves or by other people on our behalf.
All right.
Life is a function of the quality of choices that we make.
Okay.
The same case with wealth creation. Choose to abide by the laws of wealth creation, and you attract and generate wealth.
All right.
Choose to break them, and of course, poverty will be a portion.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wealth, creating wealth, and maybe comes. Maybe somebody starts by earning from maybe self-employed or employed by corporate, or government, or anybody.
Yeah.
Talk about now the difference between active and passive income.
Yeah. After laying the foundations for wealth creation, Vivid, I want to say this.
Yes.
That there is a space into which one occupies and become rich.
Yes.
There's a space you can remain and stagnate, and you perpetuate poverty.
Okay.
And we want to see, how does someone transition from being just in a certain position as an employee, for example,
Yes.
and become what you'd call a rich person. And what happens is that rich people have what you call passive income. They invest in multiple income streams as opposed to active income. So in today's show, we focus on multiple streams of income.
Okay.
The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, from verse 1, that cast your bread upon waters, and after many days you find it. Another version says you get a return.
Yes.
Cast your bread upon waters. Not just one water, but upon waters. Verse 2 even puts it more clearly, that invest in many ventures.
Yes.
7, 8. For you don't know what a disaster may come upon the land. We saw what happened in 2020 when a disaster called COVID-19 came. And it brought financial tragedy for many people. But those people who had cast the bread upon waters, those who had invested in many ventures, may not have felt the same impact as people who just relied on active income alone.
Yes.
And that's where it is wise not just to put your eggs in one basket, but put in many baskets. So that if in one basket by any chance they get broken or it just falls, you have other baskets.
Can save the others.
So we want to talk about multiple streams of income. But allow me first of all to differentiate between active and passive income.
Yes.
Because the rich invest in what you call passive income as opposed to active income. So what is active income? Active income is that which is generated through employment.
Yes.
It's what you trade employment for.
You have
You've
to
got
be
to
there.
work for it.
Okay.
You've got to work for it, for a pay.
Yes.
And it comes in many ways.
Mhm.
You could be employed, permanent and pensionable, where you're getting salaries. You could be on contract.
Mhm.
You could be on as a casual labor. So as long as you are working actively
Mhm.
to earn it, we call that active income.
Okay.
That your presence is required, your availability is required, your expertise is required, your
Yes.
skills are required. That is active income.
Okay.
So all of us who are employed,
Mhm.
whether by contract, permanent,
Mhm.
and pensionable, or whether it's casual labor, that's whatever we get is what is called active income.
Okay.
Then we have passive income.
Yes.
The moment you start generating passive income, you now start breaking the chains of poverty.
Mhm.
Because passive income is that income that you generate automatically
Yes.
through investments
Mhm.
and system that is already established.
Okay.
So you have invested in a certain venture, and that venture generates for you income continuously without you being involved directly in that venture.
All right.
That's passive income.
Mhm.
That you have seen some men and women who wake up in the morning and they go to play golf
Yes.
when everybody is reporting to their places of work,
Yeah.
and they have money working for them.
And somebody will ask, show us your ways. Show us your ways.
Yeah. So there's a difference between working for money
Yes.
and money working for you.
Okay.
The first category of active income, those who are employed to earn income,
Yes.
they're working for money. They're
Okay.
working to be paid.
Mhm.
But those who have invested and they generate passive income, money works for them.
All right.
So that they don't even have to go to work. And at the end of the day, they know they'll get money.
Mhm.
At the end of the month, money will come. Like, if, for example, if you have rental income,
Yes. Uh-huh.
you have some apartments that you're renting out,
Mhm.
that's passive income.
Okay.
You don't have to go to work. You don't have to be directly involved
Mhm.
in maintenance of those houses or
Okay.
working for those houses because you have
Yes.
already invested. As opposed to being employed,
Mhm.
the way you're working in the media,
Yes.
and you receive a payday at the end of the month.
Mhm.
But what are the differences between the two?
Mhm.
What are some of the advantages and disadvantages?
Yes.
Let's start with advantages. For active income,
Mhm.
especially for salaried employees, it may be more reliable.
Yeah.
It may be a steady flow.
You're sure something is
Something is coming. So what happens with some passive income, some income streams, you're not guaranteed that the money will come.
Yes.
There are some incomes that you may get, you may not get.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on the market conditions.
Fluctuations. and all that.
Fluctuations.
Mhm.
Like, for example, if you have invested in shares,
Yes.
shares can appreciate or depreciate. If they depreciate, you can even go at a loss. So there's no maybe what you'd call a reliable steady flow.
Mhm.
Secondly, active income
Mhm.
is a good beginning.
Yes.
Many people start with active income.
Mhm.
I would even say maybe 90% of people
Yes.
begin from an employment. Either they're employed or self-employed, and then they invest in other ventures and they start generating passive income. So it gives a very good platform, a very good beginning.
Mhm.
However, for active income, you must be actively involved,
Okay.
as the name suggests,
Yes.
such that if you are not available,
Yes.
you can be replaced.
Yeah.
For example, if you fall sick for a very long time, you
Mhm.
can be replaced.
Yeah.
You can even be sacked. You can even be retrenched, as it happened during COVID-19.
Yes.
So active income is the disadvantage in that way. But passive income, you have already invested.
Mhm.
You are no longer actively involved.
Yes.
So that's the downsides of active income.
All right.
And that's the advantage of passive income.
Mhm.
However, passive income is also subject to market volatility.
Mhm.
Maybe the inflation,
Yes.
what is happening in the market. But active income may not be subject to that, especially where salary is fixed.
Mhm.
It can only go up
Yeah.
and not down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the difference between passive income and active income.
Mhm.
And what happens
Yes.
is that there are multiple income streams that generate passive income,
Mhm.
that create wealth.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Great. And Dr. we want you to talk about types of
Income earners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what are these types of income earners?
Mhm.
Some of them are earning active income,
Yes.
others are earning passive income. Generally, income earners have been classified into 4 categories.
Mhm.
We have what we call employee. It's
Yes.
actually a cash flow quadrant,
Yes.
as propagated by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
A cash flow quadrant. On one side, we have the upper and the lower hemisphere. On the right hand side, we have the upper and the lower hemisphere.
All right.
So at the top of the left hand hemisphere, we have what we call employee.
Mhm.
Number one is employee.
Yes.
That's a person who owns a job.
Mhm.
No, he has a job.
Yes.
He works for money. Two main characteristics of employee.
Yes.
He has a job and he works for money.
So he gets active.
He gets active income.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secondly, we have the self-employed. He's also employed. The only difference is he owns a job because he has employed himself.
Yeah.
Still, he still work for money.
Still active.
He's still active income. So we have those two. E for employee or the employed who has a job, work for money. Then down there we have the self-employed. He owns a job, but he still work for money. And the self-employed mostly come in form of small businesses. You're running your small business.
Yes.
You are running your own legal farm. Sole proprietorship.
Yes.
You are the business, and you are the same. Even the PIN is the same.
Yes.
And it's not a separate legal entity.
You can be paid on your mobile.
Yeah.
Mobile money.
Yeah. So and you have to be present to run that business. And there are so many small businesses that run that too. Let's go to the right hemisphere, the other side. On the top there, we have what you'd call the business owner. This is not a small business now.
Yes.
It's a big business. And there's a way you transit from the small business to the big business. So what's the difference between the small business and big business? One of the big problem, the challenges, the big difference is, for a big business, you own a system.
Yes.
The system of operations, of management
It's
automated, for example.
Yes.
And so this time you own a system that works for you and generate money for you.
Yes.
So there are structures, there is corporate governance, there is clear hierarchy of command, the system is running.
It can work in your absence.
Yeah. It can work that's a very good way of describing it.
Yes.
Then from there we have what we call the investor.
Okay.
And what the investor has done, he has invested in multiple income streams.
All right.
And therefore, money works for him. He has invested in multiple income streams. This is where the very wealthy of this world lie. They are investors. They don't just own a big business.
Yes.
They have invested in different businesses. And therefore, money works for them and they generate a lot of money.
Wow.
So we have 4 categories of income owners. We start with the employee who has a job and he works for money to be paid. He has to be actively involved. Then we have the small business owner, the self-employed. He owns a job but has to work for money.
Okay.
And then we have the big business owner who owns a business that has a system that generates money for him.
All right.
And last but not least, we have the investor. The investor has invested in multiple income streams, and therefore money works for him.
All right.
And many people would want to be an investor, be an entrepreneur, so that money will start working for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think after talking about types of income earners, it's good to talk about maybe somebody's talking about, you mentioned the verse, the book of Ecclesiastes that mentions of 7 or even 8 income streams.
Yeah.
So talk about maybe multiple income streams.
Let me talk about multiple income streams. And this is very, very, very important for the viewers and the listeners to hear this. Because until we move or invest in different multiple income streams, we can't really claim to be wealthy or to be rich. We will still struggle or hustle.
Okay.
And the good thing is that you can invest almost in all of them.
Yes.
You can invest in active and passive income streams. But let's see how to go. At the bottom of the pyramid, and this is the entrance point for many people, the entry point for many people, is active income.
All right.
I would imagine perhaps 95% of the people who get into the labor market, they first of all get employed. And this is where I said you are actively involved in a job, in a work for pay.
Okay.
It's called earned income. And I'll first of all mention all of them, then we can now maybe discuss each of them. So the first one is active income.
Yes.
No, the first one is earned income. You work for earnings.
You are paid.
You're paid your own salary. The second one is what we call the business income.
Okay.
You run a business to generate income.
Okay.
The third one is what we call the rental income, where you have some rental property that you rent.
Yes.
The third one is what we call the interest income, where you earn some interest
Mhm.
from some savings that you have made somewhere,
Yes.
maybe in treasury bills. We shall come back and see that.
Mhm.
Then we have what you call the capital gain income,
Okay.
where you sell an asset that
Mhm.
appreciates at a higher price than you sold,
Yes.
than you bought, and therefore you get some profit.
All right.
Then the other one is what you call the dividend income,
Mhm.
where you earn some dividends, maybe out of stock or
Yes.
shares of a company that you own. And last but not least, we have what you call the loyalty income.
Mhm.
Loyalty income is whereby you are paid for the use of your own asset or intellectual property.
Mhm.
But you shall come there. So there are 7
All right.
for now. So
Yes.
the first one was
That's
earned
earned
income,
income.
business income,
Mhm.
rental income, interest income,
Mhm.
capital gain income, dividend income, and loyalty income. Let's look at each of them briefly.
Yes.
We start with active income. I've already explained not active income, but earned income.
Earned
I'm
income.
confusing the two.
Yes.
Earned income. So you of course you are, and you're having earned income, so you understand what
Yes,
what
yes,
it means. And
yeah.
many people are actually in this space
Mhm.
that we earn income, and we work to earn income.
Mhm.
We work to generate income.
Yes.
So we are directly involved, either on permanent basis,
Yes.
on contract, on casual,
Mhm.
and name it. The key thing here is you're working.
Yes.
And there are people who make a lot of money out of earned income.
Yes.
And there are people who don't make a lot.
Mhm.
So what's the difference? What is very, very important is to know how can I generate
Mhm.
more earned income so that I can even spare more income
Yes.
to invest in other ventures. How do you maximize on your earned income?
Mhm.
Because that is very,
To
very
create
important.
capital.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's very, very important.
Yes.
But before we go there, what are some of the disadvantages of earned income?
Mhm.
And we had actually talked about them when we were talking about the disadvantages of
Active.
active income. And I would add one or two
Yes.
that when you compare all the incomes, earned income is generally the highest taxed.
Mhm.
You know, pay as you earn.
Yes.
It's usually very high.
Very high. Yeah.
And the more it is, the more
The more you
tax
earn,
rate.
the more you are taxed.
Yeah. I think the
Okay.
moment you hit like 100,000
Yes.
above, you're in the bad above 100,000,
Mhm.
you almost pay about 25 to 30%.
Sure.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Compared to something like the rental income where you pay, currently I think it is 7.5%.
Mhm.
So that's one of the downsides of active income or earned income. It's heavily taxed compared to many other sources of income.
Okay.
And again, as I said, it may depend on your qualification.
Mhm.
It may depend on the sector you're working in.
Yes.
So it has several disadvantages. It
Yeah.
also depends on your availability, your productivity, your performance. It may also depend on even your employer.
Mhm.
So your security may be limited depending on the sector, your qualifications, your availability.
Yeah.
In that sense, can be limited. And
Yes.
of course, you know, today because of we're in a digital era,
Mhm.
the AI has come
Yes.
to replace many jobs.
Replacement. Yeah.
Yeah, there are many things that now are automated.
Mhm.
They don't require human labor. So those are some of the disadvantages. But how can you improve your earned income?
Yes.
I want to tell you that I started by teaching in secondary school.
Okay.
Now I teach at the university,
Mhm.
besides many other things.
Yes.
But how did I move from there? I remember my first salary
Mhm.
back in the village, teaching in a secondary school,
Yes.
a day secondary school. My first salary then
Mhm.
was 4,500.
4,000.
Can you imagine?
How
And
do
I
you
used to take some public means of transport,
Eh-heh.
a matatu, and I would walk for some kilometers.
So at the end of the month, you have to do the difference.
Yeah.
Expenses.
The good thing I was staying at home, I was sleeping at home, I was eating at
Oh,
home.
all right. Eh-heh.
But still,
There's some expenses.
yeah. Today I teach at a higher level. I teach at the university,
Yes.
and one of the things that you can do to maximize on your potential to earn income
Mhm.
is to increase your qualifications.
Okay.
Go for further education in that specific area.
Yes.
Go for further training. Get some certifications depending on your profession. Simply add your qualifications.
Mhm.
You know, they say the higher you go, the cooler it becomes.
Yes.
So when you go up, then there's less competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I remember when I went for my master's, some of my colleagues I was teaching with at secondary school, they were like, how many people have gone for masters and they have come back to teach?
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. But the moment I went for my master's, the world opened up.
Yes.
I started getting more offers, even to teach at college, at the
Mhm.
university. Then later on, I went for a PhD,
Yes.
and there are so many opportunities. So one is to increase your qualification. Secondly, is of course your experience. The more experienced you are, the more you are likely to attract more income. Your skills are very, very important. But I also want to emphasize on performance. Because people many times think that they can earn more just by not performing very well. It doesn't really go that way naturally.
You just get the
Performance is very key. I know people who have come from being a storekeeper to being a CEO, paid millions of money per month. Do you know, Vivad, today in this country, there are CEOs whose salary is in tune of tens of millions. I know. Go and Google the top best paid CEOs in Kenya. You'll be surprised. One of them, I think the last time I checked, earns in tens of millions. When people are earning less than 50,000, I was surprised to see the statistic the other day that the Kenyans who are in formal employment earning a six-figure salary, that's 100,000 plus. I was so surprised that they were about 2.5%. I think it was even less. How you optimize by performance. Just excel. Just do it very well. The Bible says in the book of Colossians, 21, verse 23, somewhere there. Whatever you do, work at it wholeheartedly, as unto the Lord. Wholeheartedly, passionately. But you know, many people, it's the late director of Starhead Boys Center who said something very remarkable that I've never forgotten. That this world is full of people who do their duties half-heartedly, poorly, and grudgingly. And no wonder people stagnate at one level. One thing I've come to realize, if you perform well, that performance will raise you from one level to another. I have seen so many people who give their best in whatever job they are doing, especially at the entry level. That's what we say in Kiswahili. Kizuri sa cha na kibaya. Yeah, something like that. Exactly. Yeah. That if you choose to excel, whatever you do, you can't help but rise from one level to another. That's what the Bible says. A skillful man will not serve before obscure people, but you serve before kings. It's just a matter of time. That cook who was cooking in a simple hotel will be elevated with a matter of time. If he does it skillfully, if he has upgraded his skills, and you'll be serving, he'll be working in a 5-star hotel. Performance is very key to optimize. And of course, interpersonal relationships with your colleagues is very, very key. Research has shown somewhere that more than 80% of success at workplace is determined by emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. How you are able to relate with other people. How you are able to manage your feelings and the feelings of other people. Your social skills are very, very critical. That's how you maximize on earned income.
That's social income.
Social capital.
Amounting to net worth. I tell you.
Your network determines your net worth.
I tell you. Awesome. That's so profound. We're going to be looking at more of those income streams. You want to stay with us. Dr. We just want to take a very short break. When we come back, we'll be looking at more income streams. So you want to stay with us? If you've got any question, feel free to share with us on or the number scrolling down at the screen. Let me not read them as of now, but now it's now down at the screen. You can now send your message on WhatsApp or on normal text, and we'll be so glad to engage with you. Stay with us, don't go away.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even Meet of the World?
I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Rafiki soul is the promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond watangaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki msoul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us tonight on the Overflow Show. This is where you live your life in abundance. And of course, we're so glad you're joining us on Hope TV, where you look and live, on Hope FM, where you listen and live. We're having an amazing conversation on, income streams. And I know you're learning something. Just in case you've got any question, feel free to share with us the numbers on the screen. I'll be so happy to engage with you. You can support us to keep us on air. That is by becoming a Rafiki Mso. Please go to the M-Pesa menu, Lipa na M-Pesa, the paybill option, and the paybill number is 933933. The account name is FOH Overflow. All right. I'll be so happy to have you support us to keep the program running. Daktari, you're talking about the multiple income streams, and you just talked about
earned income, yeah.
Yes.
And how you can maximize by upgrading your skills.
Yes.
And by working on your performance and all that.
All right.
Yes. Now we want to go to the second one.
Yes.
That is what is called business income. Business income is very simple. You're in business. You're buying things and selling them at a higher price.
Yes.
Yeah. And there are multiple businesses.
Okay.
And we'll be coming later to discuss more of the businesses, how the businesses can grow from sole proprietorship to being a conglomerate.
Okay.
And there are some businesses that have actually grown that way. From being a sole proprietor, you are everything in that business. You are the name of the business. Everything is you.
Yeah.
To being a conglomerate.
Yes.
That's a business that own multiple businesses from multiple
Multinationals.
multinationals and the like.
Yes.
So that's business. Business income. You accrue money from your business. You're running a business. A business could be even the person who runs a hotel by the roadside.
Okay.
Could be Mama Mboga, a vendor, a newspaper vendor. All those are small businesses. But of course, we have medium enterprise businesses. We have large-scale businesses. And we have all that kind of stuff. We will come back to that.
All right.
And we shall see how to grow your businesses. Then number 3, we have what we call rental income. Rental income is that income that you get when you rent out a property
Okay.
that is on a land,
Yes.
either you lease out a property,
Mhm.
could be like maybe you have, there are different categories of rental income or real estate. This is
Okay.
money that you get in the real estate.
Yes.
You could have residential houses
Mhm.
that you rent out, could be industrial, could be commercial.
Mhm.
There are many.
All right.
The key word here is you are renting them out for income.
Yes.
And we will later on come and see how you can maximize on that.
All right.
Then you have what we call interest income.
Mhm.
This is where you save your money
Mhm.
in a interest earning
Yes.
account,
Okay.
maybe by way of making some saving deposits in a bank account. Bank accounts, the savings account may not pay much.
Mhm.
Could be in the tune of maybe 1 or 2% or even
Yes.
low.
Uh-huh.
But we also have other accounts where you can get more interest, more returns by
Yes.
just saving your money there.
Okay.
Like, for example, you could open what you call a fixed deposit account
Mhm.
that has some regulations
Yes.
that you cannot just withdraw money anyhow. Maybe you have to give them a notice.
Notice.
And maybe it matures after a certain number of months, could be 3 months.
Mhm.
There, that one has got more interest now
Okay.
than the savings account, which you can get access anytime.
Mm.
So you open a fixed deposit account, you get a certificate of deposit.
Yes.
But there are other interest earning accounts
Mhm.
that you can earn more interest.
Yes.
For example, the money market. There are several money markets whereby you invest with them.
Mhm.
They have professional fund managers. They will invest on your behalf
Yes.
and they'll give you a better interest compared to maybe a saving account.
Mhm.
Money markets.
All right.
But money market, of course, is subject to management fee
Mhm.
of the fund manager. It's subject to some taxation. But
Okay.
even after taxation and management fee,
Yes.
you still earn much more than just opening a savings account.
Okay.
Then we have other financial securities, like the government debt securities.
Mhm.
You can invest or you can lend your money to the government.
Yes.
How do you lend your money to the government? You can borrow, you can buy what you call treasury bills
Mhm.
or treasury bonds.
Yes.
Those are financial securities the government uses to borrow money from the public.
Mhm.
And they also have higher interest rates than the savings account.
All right.
So you can buy treasury bills, and we shall be talking about that maybe later. How do you, for example, buy a bond?
Yes.
How do you buy an infrastructure bond?
Yeah.
And what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of
Mhm.
different types of treasury bills or bonds and the like?
Yes.
We also have the ones for company. We call them corporate bonds.
Mhm.
Company also, you can lend money to companies
Yes.
and you can buy their corporate bonds. So you earn what you call interest income.
Mhm.
You invest money in those financial securities, financial instruments,
Yes.
and they get money in the return.
All right.
And that money is what we were saying before, previously, that it's passive income.
Mhm.
Then we have what we call, we are up to number what now?
What-
Capital gain income.
Mhm.
I think it's number 4 or 5.
Yes.
Number 4. Capital gain income is whereby you buy an asset, it appreciates, and you sell at a profit.
Okay.
That's what you say it's capital gain. It has gained there's some appreciation.
Mhm.
For example, there are people who buy land
Yes.
and they sell
Mhm.
at a higher price.
So maybe you do speculation and wait, maybe.
I remember the first million I earned in this world
Yes.
in my life
Mhm.
as a Ninkamana. I bought a piece of land.
Mhm.
I actually did not even use my money.
Okay.
I borrowed from my circle
Yes.
that time, 300 Kenya shillings.
Mhm.
And I bought this piece of land,
300,000.
just 300,000.
Mhm.
Oh, not 300 shillings. I went somewhere and bought, in a small town that
Mhm.
was rapidly growing,
Yes.
I bought an eighth of an acre at 270,000.
Mhm.
270.
Yes.
So I even had some 30,000 remained
To
from
spare.
there to spare. And I didn't have the money to build.
Mhm.
Somebody came and put up a hotel next to my piece of land.
After some time.
After some time,
Mm.
after some time actually, a big hotel.
Mhm.
Across the road, someone had also put up a petrol station. And you know what,
Mhm.
Vivid?
Yes.
The people who are building up the hotel
Mhm.
looked for me
Yes.
because this small piece of land was disturbing them. They were actually trespassing on my land.
Mhm.
They
Okay.
looked for me. And to cut a long story short, we went to the bank
Yes.
for the piece of land, an eighth of an acre, that I bought at 270,000.
Mhm.
They bought it at 2.2 million.
Wow.
More than 10 times, I think.
Yes.
Almost 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you're saying. Invest in a piece of land
Mhm.
or buy a property. As it appreciates,
Yes.
then you can sell it at a higher price. That is
Yeah.
capital gain income.
Income. Yeah.
And the key thing here is look for a property that appreciates.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Yeah.
for an asset that appreciates
Yes.
and preferably appreciate rapidly.
Yes. Not a car.
You know, there's a difference between an asset and a liability.
Yes.
Liabilities depreciate,
Mm-hmm.
like a car.
Yes.
The moment it leaves the showroom, the price has gone down.
Immediately.
Even when the marriage is about less than 10 kilometers,
Mm-hmm.
the moment it leaves the showroom, the price has gone down.
Yeah.
So look for a property and not just again anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just do some market survey. There are people who have made lots of money
Mm-hmm.
by looking for property where they know it's just a matter of time
Yes.
because it's a highway that passes here, or there's a bypass that is coming here.
Something will happen.
Something will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And they buy land, and they may buy when it is being sold at a throwaway price.
Yes.
There are people who have become millionaires, multimillionaires, because they knew the government was doing bypasses,
Mm-hmm.
the eastern bypass, the southern bypass,
Yes.
and they knew the government would do the SGR,
Mm-hmm.
and they bought that land near those roads,
Yeah.
next to those roads where there will be a bypass or an SGR. After some time,
Yes.
that land was bought or sold at a very high price. Capital gain income. Then we have what we call dividend income.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you buy shares of a company.
Okay.
You become like a partial owner of a
Yes.
company
Mhm.
by buying their shares or their equity. Then, if the company is profitable, it declares dividends,
Mm-hmm.
profits,
Yes.
which are shared among the shareholders. That's what you call dividend.
Mhm.
So you can buy, and there are people who buy shares from different companies. And you wait, and they appreciate with time.
Mm-hmm.
Ever heard of what you call the initial public offer?
Yeah.
Initial public offer is where the shares of a company are being given for the first time to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's at a low price.
Yes.
Then after some time, it goes up. I remember the initial public offer for Safaricom,
Mm-hmm.
was it going for about 5 shillings?
Mm-hmm.
That time, many years ago.
Yeah.
And today the share of a Safaricom is different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we are saying, that you invest by buying shares of a company,
Yes.
then wait for the dividends. You'll be getting dividends. Whenever that company declares dividends, you'll be getting something.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just sell them at a higher price and get what you are calling capital gain income.
Yes.
Then how many have we done so far?
Those are 5.
Those are 5.
Mm.
The 6th one is loyalty income. So loyalty income is you get some money from people who use your intellectual property,
Yes.
your asset, something that you have created using your human intellect.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever uses that thing, you pay you.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. We have what you call music royalties.
Mm-hmm.
That if you play someone's music
Yes. You
in a
pay.
media house like this, Hope
Yeah.
Media, you pay money.
Yeah. Sure.
You don't just play free of charge.
Not really.
So music, we even have what you call performance loyalties. That if you perform that music, you pay.
Yes.
If you write a book like me, you get what you call book loyalties.
Mm-hmm.
You decide, you agree with the author that he'll be giving you certain amount of the price he sells. You get book loyalties.
Mm-hmm.
You also have what you call mineral royalties.
Mm-hmm.
So suppose you have a piece of land and somebody wants to extract minerals.
Yes.
That person should give you,
Royalty.
you loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have what you call franchise.
Yes.
Franchise is when someone uses your brand,
Mm-hmm.
your
The
name,
trademark.
your trademark to trade.
Mm-hmm.
So you see some bus companies that have a trademark. They have a brand.
Yes.
And so people bring their buses
Yeah.
and they use that brand name. They pay loyalty. They pay franchise. They
Yes.
buy franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Another good example is hotels.
Yeah.
You see these big hotels, their names are being used.
Mm-hmm.
The KFCs of this world, the Javas of this world, the Art Cafe, name them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are brands. People buy a franchise to use the same name and, of course, maintain the same standards.
All right.
That's what you call loyalty income.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, we have done them all.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Now let's have a look at we have types of income generating assets. Somebody could
Yeah.
be asking now, what assets can I invest in so that they can generate income for me?
That's very, very important.
Mhm.
Because you have talked about different income streams, multiple income streams.
Yes.
What are these assets? What are these? They are like the sources of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very important.
Yes.
And once again, I'll talk about 7 of them.
Yes.
7 income generating assets. They are guaranteed to give you money. The first one is what I would call a business. What do we do? I said I'll come back to the business. What do you do with business?
Yes.
Business is whereby you sell goods and services to earn an income. Actually, you sell products, you sell goods and services in a business. So it could be for goods. Goods are things that are tangible and they have monetary value. That's why it's called a good.
Yes.
Usually they are scarce. That's why they have a monetary value and they are useful. They have utility. Or a service. A service is one that is intangible. A product that is intangible,
Yes.
like distribution, transport. So one of the huge sources of income, we have streams, but where do they get the income from?
Yes.
So what you have been discussing are streams.
So again,
What is the source
asset.
of that income? That's what you're talking about. The income generating assets, the
Yes.
source of those streams. And one is what you're calling business. Business is a platform for selling goods and services. Actually, money flows in exchange of goods and services.
Yes.
You must make a good.
You're trading something.
You must trade something. You must convert whatever you're having into a good. And there are many people today who are gifted, but they have not converted their gifts into a good or service. For example, you could be gifted as a musician,
Yes.
and there are many people who sing, especially in church. And everybody get blessed and say, wow, God bless you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing much beyond clapping,
Yes.
beyond verbal
You've
appreciation.
not monetized the gift.
Yeah, so you've got to monetize your gift into a good or a service. This is why we say, now, what about if I can make an album?
Yes.
What if I can
Create a concert and
I create a
people pay.
concert and pay and get paid?
Yeah.
Convert it into a good, convert it into a service. That's what we are saying.
Yeah.
That don't just sing. What can you do
Yes.
to convert it into a good? Then monetize it. Then create an enterprise. That's a business. Come up with a system.
Yes.
You see, I used to give talks, and I still give talks. I do a lot of training
Yeah.
out there, sometimes to the corporate. But I discovered the fees are not much. So I decided I'm going to write books. Some of these ideas I'm selling to people, why don't I convert them into books?
Yeah.
Today, if there's anything that earns me a lot of money compared to the talks that I give,
Yes.
it's books.
Okay.
Because I just go, I say, whatever I'm telling you, you can get it in more details in my books.
Yes.
And I sell a lot of books.
All right.
So I've come up with a good. I'm in business. So that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Commercialize your activities. Commercialize your gift. Come up with an enterprise.
Yes.
And business says grow at different levels
So that's turning your gift into a product.
into a product,
Uh-huh.
which you're calling a good or a service.
Yes.
And business says when you're starting a business at a very low level, at the microscopic level, we have what we call sole proprietorship.
Yeah.
Sole proprietor means you are the business, you are the only business owner. You are the director, the manager, the technician, the entrepreneur, all rounded into one.
Yes.
It's a good beginning, but you should not remain there. From there, you can now partner with people, come up with a partnership, form a chama, a circle,
Yes.
an investment group. Because where there are more people, there are likely to be more returns. In fact, the Bible says 2 are better than one. They give a good return
Yes.
than when you are just one. So form an investment group. Start working together. Start generating money. Take it to another level. You can even form a cooperative.
Yes.
Cooperatives have done a great job in this world, in this country, or in the world, so to say.
Yeah.
Some of the banks you see, they were cooperatives. Then from a cooperative, you can form a company. Form a private company or a public company or a corporation. We are calling them a corporation. From a corporation or from a company, you can form a multinational. This company now is not just in one region. It's not just in one country.
Yes.
Let it go.
Different parts of the world.
And last but not least, you can form what you call a conglomerate. A conglomerate is whereby a company invests in multiple products in different sectors.
Yes.
You're in health sector, you're in mining sector, you're in transport sector, you're in energy sector. That's a conglomerate for you.
Yes.
It started from a business, a sole proprietorship, to a conglomerate. Number one, an income generating asset
Yes.
is business.
Okay.
Number two is what we call real estate.
Yes.
Real estate. Do you wonder why it is called real?
Mm-hmm. We have real returns.
Find out.
Yes.
It has a very interesting background. Why is real estate called real estate?
Uh-huh.
Real estate has to do with land and anything that is more or less permanently attached to it,
Mm-hmm.
like buildings, where you can sell it at a higher price
Mhm.
and get capital gain income
Yes.
when it appreciates, or you can put some structures like buildings and let them out.
Yes.
And real estate has a lot of advantages.
Mhm.
It is not taxed as heavily as earned income,
Yes.
though it may require a lot of capital initially, but it depends on how you go about it.
All right.
But real estate is a great source of income.
Mhm.
Land, houses, buildings, and we can classify them in terms of commercial, residential, industrial, and even for special use.
Yes.
They are all sorts of things.
Mhm.
And land really appreciate. If there is anything that hardly depreciates,
Yes.
it's land.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is very critical, real estate building, because you see, people you always want shelter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure.
People you always want
Every
shelter.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the good thing with land, instead of going expanding lengthwise, you can go up. Today,
Mhm.
with the current technology of building and
Ye-
construction,
Yes.
you can have multiple floors,
Mhm.
100 floors,
Yeah.
200 floors, and you can keep on increasing them.
Yes.
That's real estate for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a great source of income.
All right.
Then number three, we have what we call paper assets.
Mhm.
Paper assets are financial instruments
Mhm.
or assets that are in form of paper or they're in form of in digital form,
Yes.
like bonds, treasury bills.
Mhm.
You have a claim. That paper represents an asset. It represents a claim to the underlying asset.
Mhm.
It's like you own some treasury, you have some treasury bills.
Yes.
You have some boards. What you get is in form of paper money or certificates of deposits.
Mhm.
So that's what we refer as paper assets.
All right.
They generate passive income for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you get that one?
Yes.
Then number three, we have what you call
Number
four.
four.
We have what you call digital assets, digital or online assets. We are now in digital era.
Yes.
There are a lot of tradable assets that are stored electronically,
Mhm.
and you can actually trade them. Like what?
Mhm.
Give me some examples of digital assets or online assets that you know.
We have maybe those forex trading. We have
Forex
maybe
trading.
the likes of Bitcoin and all
Maybe, yeah, bitcoins,
Mhm.
cryptocurrency. That's what you are talking. Maybe, yeah, cryptocurrency, bitcoins. Maybe, do you know if you own a YouTube channel, that can be source of income.
Mhm.
You can use it even for advertising.
Yes.
If you reach a certain number of subscription, you generate income. You're aware of that?
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Sure.
you can today, people. In fact, media has shifted to what now? To the media platform, to the digital platform.
Yes.
There are people who are running their own station, so to say, in quotes, on the online platform.
Yeah.
You can conduct classes on the online platform. You can advertise on the online platform. So we have all those digital assets, those online assets, even a web page,
Mhm.
a website,
Yes.
a YouTube, the video, those videos, you can upload your videos. And there's a lot you can do. We have logos, all those things.
Absolutely.
They are digital or what you call online assets.
All
We've
right.
done number 4.
Okay. Actually, I think our time is pretty much well spent for tonight. And I'll just maybe want us to maybe do a wind up.
Is it halfway or end of the nini?
It could be the end of the program.
Oh yeah,
Because
it has gone so fast.
It's almost 9.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I felt like we are
Yes.
just beginning.
I think we'll go on with the conversation in our next episode. Maybe if we can just do maybe closing remarks and then we call it a night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think viewers and listeners, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 11, verse 2, invest in many ventures, 7 or 8, for you don't know what disaster may come upon the land. The Bible says in verse 1, Ecclesiastes 11, cast your blade in many waters, and after many days, you get a return or you find it.
Yes.
Viewers and listeners, I encourage you to invest your gift, your money in many ventures, multiple income streams, so that you can earn passive income, that you don't have to actively work for it.
Absolutely. Such a great place to leave it at tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we're looking forward to having a continuation of this episode next Saturday. So you want to stay with us. And then, but I wish you a great night. And of course, you can partner with us to keep the program on air by, becoming a friend of Hope tonight. You can go to the M-Pesa menu, leap on M-Pesa paybill option. The paybill number is 933933. The account name is FOH Overflow. Thank you so much. God bless you. Until next time, same place. Bye bye.